Demon Slayer anime has the most interesting and exciting battle sequences. But what about the romantic sequence? Let's find out today who are the best couples in the famous Demon Slayer anime. With Season 3 of the anime series Demon Slayer concluding on April 23, 2023, all eyes turn to see how Tanjiro will utilize the secret sword he obtained during the finale. Regardless of what happens, Tanjiro is sure to find emotional support from his closest friends and like Kana, a bond that has blossomed into a tender romance throughout this series. Although a major appeal of Demon Slayer is the epic fights, the cozy sweet-natured romances in between the action go a long way in making the characters even more compelling, relatable, and easy to root for. As such, it's worth spotlighting the absolute cream of the crop. 10. Aoi and Enoski. A beautiful bond defined by their mutual love of food, Aoi and Inosuke has demonstrated an old married couple dynamics since the day they meet each other. The two often playfully bickered when they first met in the ultra-scary shonen anime. However, once Aoi caught Inosuke sneaking around at night to steal food, she gave him a stern lecture followed by a custom-made meal. After presenting him with a plate of food tailored to his tastes, Inosuke immediately opened his heart. Aoi gave Inosuke permission to eat as much as he desired and as often as he wanted, and the two forged an unbreakable bond that led to having 2 great-grandchildren, including Uba. Given the legacy of their lineage, Aoi and Inosuke are hard to beat. 9. Amane and Kagya. While arranged marriages can be viewed as outdated, they remain steeped in Japanese tradition. In Demon Slayer, Kagaya suffers a family curse and falls gravely ill. As a result, a priest bestows Kagaya with a wife, Amane. Despite being strangers at first, over time, the romance blooms into something truly special. During their early days together, Amane was withdrawn and guarded her emotions. Viewers thought she didn't care for Kagaya as a result. However, once he coughed up blood and nearly died, Amane sprung into action, expressed frantic concern for her husband, and did everything in her power to save his life. When no options were left, Amane gave her life to die beside Kagaya. 8. Yutan and Yoriichi. Yuta met Yoriichi in a rice field following the death of her family. After spending the whole night together talking, Yoriichi invited Yuta to stay with him at his home. This made Yuta shed immense tears of joy and began a heartfelt union that lasted 10 years before the couple decided to get married. After 10 years of marriage, Yuta and Yoriichi were finally set to welcome a child when Yuta became pregnant. Sadly, Yuta was slain by a demon while Yoriichi was out helping an old man reunite with his son. When Yoriichi discovered his wife and unborn child's death, he cried for 10 consecutive days. Tragic as their ending was, there's no denying how much the married couple cared. 7. Kana and San Emi. A fairly new couple in the nightmarish horror anime, Kanai and San Emi are attracted to one another through their mutual love of educating others. Kana teaches biology and San Emi teaches math, and together, the like-minded sapiophiles exude excellent chemistry. The emotional bond between the two is crystallized when San Emi begins crying after Masachika's will is read aloud. San Emi bursts into tears, prompting Kana to rush to his side and give him emotional support. Later, Kana tends to San Emi's wounds, with her warm touch reminding him of his mother's. After calling her kind in a candid moment of vulnerability, the shocked Kana begins reciprocating her romantic feelings for San Emi. 6. Jiro and Chi Nobu. Jiro and Chi Nobu remain among the most beloved Demon Slayer couples. Affectionately referred to by fans as Jishino, the couple epitomizes the classic opposites attract romantic trope that keeps viewers entertained with their conflicting personalities as the insect and water pillars. The way Shinobu constantly flirts with the totally unaware Jiro during the Hashira training arc is undeniably adorable. Once paired on several missions together as fellow Hashira, Jiro and Chi Nobu slowly put their bickering aside and learn they have far more in common than initially thought. The two end up falling for each other, with Chi Nobu being the first person to make Jiro smile in the series after sticking up for and supporting him against the other Hashira. 5. Tenjin and Initsuru, Makio, and Suma. While some may view Tenjin Uzui as a womanizing lech, he constantly goes out of his way to ensure the safety and happiness of his three wives, Initsuru, Makio, and Suma. In fact, Tenjin loves all three women equally and constantly bends over backward to show them profound respect, honor, and chivalry. Their mutual love is expressed several times throughout the series. Tenjin vows to keep his wives safe, constantly sending letters to check up on them during their stay in the entertainment district. He also nurses Initsuru back to health after she botches a mission and tells her it's okay and that she did well. Meanwhile, when Tenjin is poisoned in battle and nearly dies, his wives express grave concern for his well-being and rejoice in celebration when Nizuko heals him. 4. Nizuko and Zenitsu. A classic tale of romance from opposite sides of the tracks. Zenitsu cannot resist Nizuko despite his lifelong fear of demons. After falling for Nizuko, Zenitsu constantly asks her to marry him but is met with one hilarious decline after another. Over time, Zenitsu becomes more mature and less aggressive and begins impressing her with stories of his training exercises with Tanjiro. What begins as love at first fight for Zenitsu evolves into a tender romance where Zenitsu invites Nizuko to a flower patch and allows her to look at Shinobu's goldfish without permission. Before getting married and starting a family, Zenitsu proudly protected his demonic wife in battles against Inosuke and Emo. 3. Mitsuri and Obani. When it comes to the most adorable demon slayer couple, not many can top Mitsuri and Obani. Mitsuri has always lacked confidence and has been self-conscious about her insatiable appetite for food. Fiercely protective and jealous of others who approach her, Obani genuinely loves Mitsuri and encourages her to embrace her love of food and be herself at all times. Obani unconditionally loves Mitsuri even when Mitsuri doesn't love herself. He often treats her with gourmet food that helps her accept her true identity and allows her to be happy with herself. On the flip side, Mitsuri is often seen giving emotional solace to Obani whenever he's teased or feels bad about his facial dysmorphia. By chapter 205, the couple marries and has 5 children after reincarnating, reinforcing their unbreakable terminal bond. 2. Kian and Tanjiro. Kian and Tanjiro Kamada were a married couple who were so in love and dedicated to building a family together that they had 6 children in the acclaimed romantic horror anime, including the series protagonist Tanjiro and his siblings Hanako, Nizuko, Rokuta, Shidru, and Takio. Although Tanjiro is slain fairly early on and leaves Ki behind to raise their 6 children, the fact remains, without the loving couple remaining dedicated to each other for so long, there would be no main characters to follow. Moreover, the values and lessons that Ki and Tanjiro instilled in their children are felt throughout the series. 1. Kana and Tanjiro. The best couple in Demon Slayer is Kana and Tanjiro. Since birth, Kana has been an ambivalent person who lacks the confidence to make big bold life decisions. As such, she often leaves fate up to the flip of a coin. All that changes for the better when she meets Tanjiro, who constantly encourages Kana to follow her heart, embrace her desires, and live life to the fullest. Over time, this helps Kana become more assertive and decisive, and she begins expressing her emotional feelings for Tanjiro. In the battle against Muzan, Tanjiro narrowly rescues Kana from death but turns into a demon as a result, prompting a tearfully apologetic plea from Kana that proves how much she's come to love him. Kana has never been happier than when Tanjiro returned to human form. Afterward, they got married, started a family, and continues their legacy with 2 great-grandchildren. Thank you for being with me so far in the video. Be sure to like and send to anime fans.